No one likes to feel angry. It's not a feel-good state. It's a state where our vibrational energy is at an all-time low. Who doesn't want to feel loved? Who doesn't want to be loved? Last week, I shared how to handle an acute situation when you are feeling angry. But what about long-term anger? How do we handle that? This is what you'll find in today's video. Let's look at how to release the pent-up anger once and for all, and look at what some deep work might look like. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dr. Rani. I am a holistic psychiatrist and a coach. I help you unlock your exceptional brilliance so that you can be the best version of yourself. In this video, I'm going to share with you what I have learned working on myself that has really helped me release anger, that has really helped me from thinking I am an angry person to realizing that that's a lie. I just made it up. I created myself as an angry person. Why? Because I kept believing it. And there was some deep work to be done. Over the years, I have done a lot of deep work on myself, and I'm going to share some of the things that I have found extremely helpful to let go of the anger, to let go of an identity of being an angry person, and more importantly, falling in love with myself and accepting myself. I remember I used to do a lot of work in the past. I used to go to courses after courses, learn one technique after another, and say, now I have changed as a person. Then I would come back feeling very excited and tell my husband, Suraj, like, oh, you know, this happened and that happened, now you have got to change wife. And after some time, I go back to my same old patterns. And I remember Suraj saying quite a few times, you know, all this work you have done on yourself, it's not working. I used to get furious. I used to get angry. Like, what? Do you not see how hard I'm trying? So I used to get very upset about that feedback. Well, he said what he said. He could have given me another kind of feedback. And he doesn't always give me that kind of feedback. But there are times when he's direct and say, it's not working. And I took it very personally. What I did not see back then was that I was working on myself and there were changes happening, but the changes were not as fast as I would have liked them to be. So I was going for courses and I was looking for the quick fix. Yeah, give me stuff and so that I can be a better version of myself. I didn't realize that it takes practice. It takes time. It might seem like I have taken a step back. Yeah, and it's okay. You have taken so many steps forward and you have taken a step back. And life is a journey of continued growth. There's something to learn in every step. Even when we think we have failed, we can be self-critical, or anytime we think we have failed, we can say, I choose to forgive myself for losing my temper again. And I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Now, this is not a technique, but if we could choose to forgive ourselves despite failing multiple times, and deeply and completely love and accept ourselves, that's going to be the game changer. This is what I have seen for me. This is what I'm seeing for people who I'm helping. No one is perfect. We get caught up in our thinking. To react is so easy. To create ourselves as someone who is not an angry person or who does not keep reacting takes some work. It is very simple, but that doesn't mean that it is common practice. So what have I learned? First one is to acknowledge and accept all human emotions, including anger, including fear, including guilt. Sydney Banks once said, if the only thing that people could learn was not to get scared of their experiences, that itself would change the world. I am seeing more and more that the problems we have is because we don't want to accept our feelings. I'm talking about the negative ones. We would rather always have positive feelings, positive thoughts, and it doesn't work that way. When we numb our experiences, numb those feelings by taking drugs or alcohol or overeating, we are not really acknowledging and validating how we feel. It might feel very uncomfortable to sit with those very intense emotions, but if we train ourselves not to get so scared of these experiences that we have to react or say something that we regret later on. Something is going to shift. It might take time. It has taken time in my case. But as long as we keep looking in this direction, we will see results. The second thing I have learned is to understand triggers and how the mind works. We have all used the phrase that I got triggered. This person triggered me. This situation triggers me. I did a video interview once with someone called Jamie Smart, who is an amazing coach and trainer. He uses the analogy of a teddy bear. Young children have an object that they might carry with them all the time. It's their comfort object. It could be a blanket, it could be a teddy bear, and it feels like for the child, their security comes from the teddy bear. If, for example, they lose the teddy bear, then they get very, very upset, and the parents then start looking for the teddy bear and try to calm the child down, because the child really feels that the teddy bear or the comfort blanket is the one that's giving them support, giving them the safety that they needed to experience. Similarly, we all have our teddy bears. Things have to go a certain way for me to feel safe. If someone violates our rules for living, then I get triggered. But that's not how life works. Yes, we can have a triggering thought, like something someone says triggers us. Something someone says is a stimuli for us, and we react to that. That's all it means. So that our real triggers are not outside. Our real triggers are our interpretation of what's happening out there. And then we get triggered if we think that's wrong, because it violates our rules for living. Understanding how the mind works has been a game changer for me. The mind works only one way, inside out, meaning any experience we have is all internal. We feel our thinking 100% of the time. It might seem that situations outside of us have the power to make us feel a certain way, or things that happened in the past have a power to make us feel a certain way. That's outside in. This happened, this is why, outside in. But the mind doesn't work that way. Put this to test. There's sometimes people say mean things to us and we don't get triggered. If the mind worked that way, outside in, every time someone said something or spoke a certain way, we would get triggered. But it doesn't happen that way. However, it all depends on the state of mind we are in. If we are feeling calm, we are going to handle whatever comes our way calmly. If we are feeling a bit stressed already, something happens, we snap. When you wake up to the fact that the mind is very, very powerful, it plays tricks on us. The real reason we get triggered is because we believe our thinking. And when we come down, we have different thinking. We have different perspective. This has been a game changer for me and many people around the world. This also helps us not to feel like a victim of circumstances. The third thing that has been helpful for me is to uncover those limiting beliefs that are running the show in my life. We all have limiting beliefs. What is a belief? It's a thought that we keep thinking and we really believe in, and it has become our truth, our personal truth. There are some beliefs that might be helpful for us. There could also be some beliefs that limit us. They are called limiting beliefs. So if I go about life having some limiting beliefs around who I am, if I have limiting beliefs about other people are out there to get me, or no one likes me, or if I think the world is a dangerous place, then I will have that experience. Is it really helpful for me to look at it this way? Or can I have a different perspective that is going to support me? And this takes time. But the more we shine a light on our limiting beliefs and do some work around them with the help of a coach, with the help of a therapist, with the help of someone you really trust, like your best friend, if they have done their deep work themselves and are in a place to provide a safe container for you, confide in them. What I'm saying here is, if we have the same problem crop up again and again, say we feel angry on a regular basis, all it means is that there is a lesson for us to learn that we haven't learned yet. And until we see that lesson, until we say, right, I'm going to do some work here, it might keep coming back because we haven't learned our lesson. The fourth thing that has been really helpful for me is tuning into a good feeling. What do I mean by that? When we slow down and do some deep inquiry and deep work, and we feel at peace, or we connect to a higher vibrational state, that experience is like fragrance of the soul. When I talk about listening for a good feeling or a deep feeling, I am pointing to exploration of who we truly are. When we tune into a deeper feeling, it's like we can smell the perfume of the soul. That can be achieved by practicing being in a meditative space. For some people, it can be daily prayers. For others, it could be their yoga practice. For some, it can be meditation. It can be body work, breath work, but taking it deeper than just what the technique or the relief that the technique can give you. Go deeper and get quiet. When we fall into the present moment, or when we experience the present moment, we get a sense that at a deeper level, we are okay. That the surface level problems, surface level anger is not who we are. It's a habitual way of being, but we are not that. My final realization is that we can do multiple projects in a lifetime, but there is a lifetime project, and that lifetime project is me, is you. When we do our inner work, it's a lifetime project. At this moment, I want to share a very personal story. On the day that I'm recording this video, it's the 30th death anniversary of my father. When I was in medical school, he was killed in a bomb blast. He used to work away from home, and I hadn't seen him for months. And when I got the news, obviously it was like my life had ended there, my life had stopped there. I remember all kinds of feeling, but one of the feelings I still remember is a feeling of anger, deep anger about how wrong it was for the terrorists who killed my dad and some other people in the police force, because he was a policeman on duty. How wrong it was. So you can imagine I was going through this loss along with my family. We were all grieving the loss, and we all had our own emotions. I had a lot of stories around it and what it meant for the family. I thought that was the end. And guess what? 30 years from then, I'm here to share a story of how that was not easy. And if anyone had talked about forgiveness, I would have felt humiliated. So I'm not talking about forgiving someone else who has harmed you in any way. But I guess along with other stories I had about how things had gone wrong, and also working on this trauma that I experienced, helped me embark on a personal healing journey. And you can say, well, time heals. But I also know that the self-help and the healing journey I embarked on really helped me shift. I guess the most important message here is that I did not work on forgiving anyone else. I just worked on loving and accepting myself deeper. I did not need to carry my baggage of anger and resentment. So here's an invitation for you. I don't know about your story. I don't know what has happened for you to feel angry from time to time. But I accept that there has been a loss of some kind. There could have been a serious violation of trust. Whatever it is, all I will say is that if you work on yourself and self-love and self-forgiveness for anything you think you could have done better, because that's the other thing we blame ourselves for. I wish I was there. I wish I could have done something. Then we also fall into the trap of not even forgiving ourselves, forget forgiving someone else. So the more we can work on ourselves, have compassion for ourselves, start looking at opportunities to be gentle with ourselves, have kindness for ourselves. Guess what? You will find that your relationship with anger changes dramatically, and you don't even recognize the person you have become. This is sustainable. This is not something you will learn in an anger management course, not that I know of. But the more work you do on yourself, and you heal yourself from any past trauma, any past hurt, any past judgments that you have about yourself, including why do I keep getting angry, you will find self-love. You will be tuning into the perfume of the soul. And guess what? Anger will still show up, just like it shows up for me from time to time. But you feel so grounded in your understanding of who you are, and that anger is not who you are. Our emotions are not who we are. This body, our mind, is not who we truly are. That's a journey worth starting, worth embarking on. Let me know how you found this video. If you enjoy my videos, do consider subscribing. Thank you and bye for now.